button.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 22 of Live on Two Wheels. What?
Oh, we're still doing it.
What?
22 times we've done this.
We need to figure out a number. Like, we need to celebrate. We need
like
to
when we
figure-
stop, they say, all right, we're out.
No. Like, like a number to celebrate on. Guys, welcome to your weekly live motorcycle show here on YouTube, and that eventually finds its way to podcast form. Live on Two Wheels. I'm Chase on Two Wheels. I got my buddy Bo with me as co-host. And today, we're talking about regrets, Bo. I'm sure me and you got a lot of them, but unfortunately, we're talking about motorcycle-specific regrets.
It narrows it down a little.
That does narrow it down just a little bit. So, guys, it should be a fun show. We kind of wanted to take a break from so much motorcycle talk, like motorcycle-specific talk, so hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of... What would you call this type of podcast episode?
I mean, it's still motorcycle related.
No, it's always going to be motorcycle related, but it's not like we're not talking about. Hey, you know what? You guys know a bike sucks. This one.
Well, so this kind of stuff is like more like a biography of who we are.
I think this is more podcast content.
Yeah,
honestly,
it really
if we're
is.
going to be honest, because I don't think this is something that I would really make a YouTube video about.
I mean, a lot of people that have been watching you for a while know your history. You talk about it a lot.
Right.
And anybody who's met or talked to me, like, I'm an open book, and I am very excited about my story of getting on a bike. So it's like,
Well, this will be a good opportunity for people to learn you a little better then.
you gonna learn me?
Oh, go and learn, Bo. So, guys, before we get started, if you guys will do us a favor that are here in the chat, make sure to hit that like button. We love you guys a long time. Also, like we said, this is also a podcast. So if you're watching this live, that's cool. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button. And if you guys, if you're out doing stuff, got a lot of stuff going on, you are able to just listen to this podcast. It is available on your favorite podcasting platforms, as long as one of those favorites is Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. One day, I'll dedicate the time to put it on more things. That day is not today, so we're only available on those three. But if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, we would love for you guys to drop us a review. I will read every single one of them, and they will make me feel better or worse about myself. So I really hope you guys can find some time to go review them. Otherwise, I'll probably feel bad about myself.
I just want to take this moment
Take this moment
to say hello to Moto Marvelous, Cowie Katana, who's challenging you, by the way, Brett Brapp, and Downey, all up in the biz.
Wait, what are you seeing all this?
The super chat's here.
Oh, God. I see.
You've got it on your screen right now.
I
it's
usually
the
have...
only thing on your screen. It's bright. It's lit. No. That's what he's looking at. What do you mean, what?
You guys that are just listening, I highly recommend you watch. No, typically I have the Mila note up. So I'm not used to having this on the screen, so I'm not even looking at it.
Oh my!
That's awesome to have those guys in the chat. All right, I'm gonna go over to my Milo note now so I can focus on what I'm doing. Jesus Christ. So guys, before we get to the show, what should we ask people to go over on Discord about? Because we forgot last episode to give away a $50 Revzilla gift card. Which is our bad. We had a lot of stuff. Oh wait, that was when I came back from LA. I was half dead. No, we ain't giving nothing away for that.
Yeah.
I about died.
Good lord.
Oh yeah, I didn't almost die. That's an
Okay,
exaggeration.
geez.
Guys, go to our Discord. You can find the link in the description. Go to the Live on Two Wheels chat page and post one of your regrets. Post your biggest regret as a motorcyclist, and we'll pick one at the end of the show. And if we pick yours, we'll give you a Revzilla gift card for $50. You guys can grab some gloves or, $50 off a helmet, something like that. We will give that out to you. Link in the description for the Discord. And we'll do that at the end of the show.
I'm working on a way to get that to play with our bots too, so that'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you ever post anything, I'm gonna set it up to where it'll automatically pull it if you just use like a certain command or something like that. I'll work on that. I've got a lot of stuff to do the Discord, so
yeah, we're on that early stage of like ramping up Discord. It's been going really cool thus far. Like we've been talking about it in first rides, and like we're seeing way more people come into there, and
bro, I cannot
really
wait.
cool to watch the community of Discord grow like at this current rate, because typically, you know, the people that have been there for a while, but now we're like going to start bringing in people and stuff like that.
Well, it's going to be real cool when we get to the
get to the final form,
like the website and all that stuff. And it's like once we get to that point, we can dedicate a lot more time to it.
Right.
And like,
for you guys that don't know, Rec Bike Rebuild. Sorry to interrupt you, Bo. But we've been working on a website for months now. Not us, but we're hiring it out, and we've got some really cool plans. So once that website gets done, we'll let you guys know. But it's gonna like intermingle with Discord and our Rec Bike Rebuild show and a lot of stuff that we're doing. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on. Before we get to what?
No, I was reading a message from Downey.
Oh God, is he texting me?
I cannot show it on stream.
Okay, he didn't text me. Thank God. That's terrifying. So before we get into the topic, housekeeping. You've been in the cave this week, bud. You've been editing away. Yeah. How's things going on your end?
I mean,
me and you haven't got to talk at all today because the guys and I were out filming a super secret series,
which I'm excited for.
Have you looked at the footage that we got today?
Yes, I looked at some of it. It's
bro. We thought we were going to film 2 episodes of this series today, and we ended up filming barely 1.
Yeah,
but the footage.
So
I think it looks good.
The last week has been interesting because we are fine-tuning our pre-production process to be as oiled as every other part of it. And so I have had a large weight pulled off of me because, like, the biggest problems that we have right now left are pre-production.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're starting to get in that mindset and things are getting, like, I mean, you would be able to speak on it more than I would, but, like, the editing process, all that stuff it's kind of found its...
I feel like we're getting really close to a stage where everybody has hyper specific roles.
Right.
Because like up until now, you guys have probably seen if you've been subscribed to the channel for long enough, I've been kind of growing the team over the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. But this whole time, one day somebody's doing this, the next day somebody's doing something else. Even me. So what's happening is my roles are just melting away, and everybody else's roles are like, you are literally becoming the one specific thing. You are going to become this one specific thing. So it's kind of been pretty neat to watch this whole thing because, like, hey, the less I got to do, the better.
No, I feel like we're at that spot though.
We're getting close. Yeah.
Like pull back the curtain a little bit. Like, there are very few things that you and I have to have a discussion about now once the video is finished. It's like what we call zhuzhing it up, like add here, or like, hey, something's a little off here.
Right.
But we found that groove in our production and our post-production. So
right.
Also, sitting in the cave with nobody around, with wearing no pants, just editing videos all day. That's it.
So I want to give here's the thing I'm super proud about. Recently, the last week or so, I feel like, and you guys have been watching all the Live on Ontwowheels shows, go back a month or so, maybe 2 months. Me and Bo said something about we have I forget what we called it. We said a channel restructuring plan because you guys know channel got hacked and like whatever happened to the channel and it ruined it for a while. Yeah, it was not a good spot. I would say that after that plan that we put in place, we said it on the show.
We've met or exceeded expectations.
We are about 90 to 95% of the channel back running in good form. It's not super optimal. It's not like the best it's ever been, but the fact that we're almost back to where it was, and I feel like it's because of we put a plan in place. We've been knocking through that plan religiously. Yeah. And we're starting to see the results, and I was telling Bo this the other day, guys. It's so cool for you to sit down and be like, all right, stuff is messed up. We need to fix it. We've been doing this long enough. We should know how to fix it. Let's make a plan. You make the plan and do the plan, and it actually works. It is. I mean, it's also relieving because we all get to continue doing cool jobs. Yeah. We love doing what we do, so we want to keep doing it. And you guys have been responding phenomenally to the stuff we've been doing, of the content over on YouTube and, here on the show. So shout out to y'all for, just really, really killing it lately. We massively appreciate it.
Love you,
love you guys a long time. And we've got, and bro, we're just starting. We got
no regards, not even one.
We got such cool stuff going on.
Yep.
Anyway, anything else? We got, we've been doing a lot of filming lately, as per usual. We've got a really fancy first. We have what might be the first time I've done a first ride for no reason other than the bike looked cool.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's first ride.
I mean, we got a bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline we ain't talking about right now.
Yeah, we're not quite able to talk about it next.
Shit's getting real. Mm-hmm. Shit is getting real.
Yeah, it's a good time. So, guys, let's talk about regrets. Enough of happy stuff.
Pro segue, dude. Fucking A.
Enough talking about enjoyable stuff. Also, we could say this. If you guys want to help support the show, there's no sponsor for this episode, so we'll just do a little self-promotion. Supporting us over on Wreck Bike Rebuild, patreon.com/chaseontous, how to get there. You guys can win motorcycles, and it super supports what we do here. Alternatively, if you guys are grabbing gear, I believe we have it in the description of the live show. If you guys use our Revzilla affiliate link, that helps us indirectly. You guys don't pay any more for gear. We get a little cut of it. So if you guys are grabbing gear from Revzilla, we would love for you guys to just click on that link. Once you click on that link, you can buy any gear. It actually helps the show out a lot. That's our little sponsor plug, help us pay for stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bo, how long have you been riding? So just so we can get a gauge for the people that aren't familiar with how long we've been riding, because like people's regrets, I feel like motorcycle-wise, we're not talking about life regrets, guys.
Yeah, because that's a different story.
We're literally just talking about motorcycle regrets.
What are you doing for the next 2 hours?
I'm not being paid as a therapist. We're not going through the regrets you have in life. So I feel like to describe motorcycle regrets, we should probably kind of give a brief over how long we've been riding.
Set the baseline.
Yeah, because I feel like somebody that's been riding for a year's regrets are going to be entirely different from somebody who's been riding their entire life. They've ridden hundreds of motorcycles and stuff. 100%. So I'll give mine after you. So
the TLDR version, I rode dirt bikes as a teenager. I moved out of my house pretty early. Mm-hmm. So I worked full-time jobs from 17 until now. At 18, my dirt bike got stolen off the back of my trailer, which was like bike locked, triple bike locked. And
it got stolen?
Yeah, it got stolen. And at 18, working like a job that pays enough to pay the bills,
right,
and put a little gas in the bikes,
right.
I was just like, well, I guess I don't ever ride motorcycles again. So I didn't ride for ages.
Okay.
And then I'd say probably at 29, 30, the truck I had bought, it was in 2013, I remember, because it blew up, like literally. The truck died, and
story for another day.
Another day. I worked 5 miles away from where I lived. It was me and Marley, and we lived off of Roswell Road, right across from Prada.
Oh, where you... Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just get like a scooter, super economical gas-wise, and I can just like, sidewalks, whatever.
Right.
Cool. And like 3 months later, I was like, well, now I want to get back on bikes.
So the scooter kind of like lit that again.
Yeah, it like reminded me like, oh yeah, you used to do this. I mean, I never rode on the street. I nicked my my stepdad's bike like when they weren't around.
Use the word borrowed, because when you say nicked, it's like you're a terrible person. You stole it.
Well,
We're not getting into that.
Okay.
This is not a boat therapy session.
So I would just like snag his bike out of the garage when they weren't around and whatnot, and joyride it around the neighborhood as like a 15-year-old. But like, I'd never really ridden on the street as like a actual motorcyclist until I decided to get my M certification.
And when was that?
I had to be 30. It was. Jeez, I mean, that was 2013, 2014.
So like 8-ish years you have something under your belt riding. Okay. And since then it's been, different bikes, and you're progressed to the point where now you own a Bolt, and you are preemptively looking for your next cruiser style motorcycle.
Yes, I am.
And a conversation for another day.
Well, Moto Marvelous was asking me a question earlier.
Oh, feel free to ask it, and I'll answer it, and I'll answer.
He was like, Chief or sports dress? And I'm like,
oh, that's
neither.
Okay, and ended there. I like it.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so a lot of you guys have, a lot of y'all have followed me for a while. I've been riding for 11-ish years. Started on a SV650, had never driven a manual car, ridden a motorcycle. Bro, I even bought a bicycle and rode it to working class. In preparation because I had got
You were one of those fixie guys, weren't you?
Yep. Riding in downtown, absolutely. I'm so sorry about that. And I felt so cool doing it. I'm not even gonna lie.
Did you tuck your little pant leg into your sock?
I did.
You jerk.
I watched so many YouTube videos about how to do cool shit on fixie bikes. Anyway, so it got my job while I had other jobs. I literally had a job for nothing but to save up for a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Eventually saved up enough, bought my motorcycle, got an SV650, I think it was a 2005. Then it was SV650, R6, R6, WR250, R6, WR250, R6. Things were getting stolen. R6 went to, gave it away for a wreck bike rebuild season, got a Daytona 675 that I had been borrowing from Triumph. Then I sold that, then only had the WR for almost a year. It was only the WR. That was the dark ages of C2 Dub. And then, and then we're here, and I have my MT10 and my WR250 now. Yeah. So I've stayed in
years under us.
We've got some years under us for sure.
And to clarify, for like four of those years, that was my only mode of transportation. I didn't own when that truck blew up. That's it. I still don't own a car. The car I have is my mother's right now, and once the estate clears, that's going back.
Right.
So like, I won't own a car again. But like, I haven't owned a car since 2013, and for like 4 or 5 years, I only had the bike, and then it was after that I started borrowing like Marley's car for like a day, like a month.
Right.
So I could like run errands, and then when my stepfather got into his accident and can't ride anymore and drive anymore, and then I took his truck and started fixing it up, thinking I was going to buy it.
Right.
So it's like for a very large portion of that time, that's all I did.
Well, so that'd be an interesting conversation to have. We won't have it today, but Heather and I have had just the Jeep for like probably 5 or 6 years. Honestly, we've been rocking one car, and the Jeep's paid off and everything. So it would be an interesting conversation to. Like, we've both been in a position where, we have wives, so we have 2 people in the household. We all have jobs.
Both of our wives own their own business.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Is required to use the car.
Right. So it would be an interesting conversation of, can you have just one car and a motorcycle? Because motorcycles make having only one car, like, suddenly super doable. You know what I mean? Because, like, I'll ride through anything. But, so I think the cool thing to do is maybe we go back and forth with some of we've kind of like jotted down some of the regrets we've had, looking back where we got to now, and kind of just work through those. We've also got some cool, like towards the end of the show, I posted on the community page on YouTube and got some responses.
There's some good ones.
From people.
Don't look ahead.
I'm not.
You are looking right at it.
I'm not looking.
I can see your screen.
Hold on. Look. I fixed it. Okay. So we'll go back and forth, and then maybe later in the show we can start pulling from YouTube and see because like we're only 2 guys, Yeah. I mean, the show is us just kind of chit chat and having conversations around motorcycles. But it'd be interesting to see what other people had. So, Bo, what's one of the regrets you have, bud? As motorcycle regrets, again, please don't get into all of your regrets.
I have one major regret.
Starting off with a big one. Okay.
I would say it's a dead tie between my 2 biggest regrets. I wish I hadn't quit riding dirt. I wish I'd gotten back into it again.
Okay.
Just because I loved it.
So just to be clear, you're saying when the bike got stolen,
I stopped riding because I couldn't afford to get another bike.
So you wish at that point you would have
found a way.
Yeah. Okay.
Made something work. My buddy Paul, like he was really good about like making sure everything's taken care of and forcing himself to find a way to also do the things he really enjoyed.
Right.
And I didn't learn that lesson until much later in life.
Right.
So I wish I hadn't stopped riding the dirt because I just had so much fun doing it. And it was one of those things where I always did it with like my buds. Like there was like 4 or 5 of us. We'd just grab our dirt bikes and go hit, the trails out in my hometown.
You can correct me if I'm wrong with this, because I've never really been into riding dirt. Like me and Yummy would like mess around with the WRs on sometimes on the Adventure Series stuff, but I feel like, outside looking in, I feel like dirt riding very similar to Grom riding.
Yeah,
it's by yourself. You can do it, but if you're gonna do it, you need to have people to do it with, because the fun factor is just exponentially larger.
You can enjoy it by yourself, and I did quite often, just getting lost and stuff on the trails.
Right.
This is before, like, I grew up partially in New York and then partially in Douglasville. And it was before, because I'm almost 40, it was before, like, the mall and all that shit was built up. So it was just empty woods that people would carve trails in, and so we get lost out there. But like, it does exponentially get more fun the more people I have. And we rode 125s at a YZF. My first bike was a 96 YZ 125.
Right.
And the thing I loved about it was you could just wring the living shit out of it. It had 2 speeds, not moving,
it just
and
going.
just full throttle.
Right.
So like that was like kind of the side regret, but my biggest regret was when I decided to get into street riding, not doing my fucking research. I spent like a year and a half, and $10,000 all in taxes and everything, on a bike that did not suit me, and I did.
You're talking
not
about the FZ6R?
Yeah, I had fun. The experiences were fun,
right?
Because I first group ride was 2 weeks after I got it at the Lanier meetup. Like a month after that, I'm on the Tail of the Dragon with Downey and Matt and all them.
Yeah.
And we had a blast. All those meetups, all that stuff, the experiences were great. I never really got to enjoy that bike because it wasn't my style, and I didn't know that because I didn't do the proper research, and I wasted what I see as valuable time and money on something that was not for me. I now know what kind of rider I am.
So if you were to go back and, if you could give your old self some pointers, would it have been like go straight to the bolt, or would you have told yourself, don't go on any specific motorcycles, do everything you can to do testing?
Yeah, I would have done more like a thorough job of finding out what kind of rider I wanted to be for street riding.
Right.
Because that would have saved me a lot more time and money.
Do you think it was valuable, though, that you were on the FC6R? Because, do you think...
Yes, I just wish I hadn't spent that money. Is basically what it boils down to, because, it was a year of it.
Yeah.
And we went to the mountains, you and I specifically, and that's pretty much the only time I went to the mountains, was when we would go. Mm-hmm. I mean, once in a while.
Yeah.
And so it was the rest of the time, I live ITP, so I'm in the center of the city.
Right.
All of my riding is street mobbing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not a bad bike for that.
It's not a bad bike for
it. But if you guys don't know, the FZ6R equivalent would be an MT-07 right now.
Yeah.
back in the day, that was the closest to an MT-07.
It's an R6 engine that was
detuned and put in an upright
more torque,
platform.
less horsepower.
Right.
Than it was that kind of flip. And it was a standard handlebar situation.
So honestly, if you want the sportier side, that's the perfect bike. But you wanted the mobbing vibe more than that.
Yeah. So I may have ended up on a dual sport.
Yeah.
Or a standard, or even a mid-controlled cruiser or something like that. Something with low end, gruntiness.
Right.
Lots of fun and lots of noise. That's the kind of rider I am.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's so cool that you could. I mean, if you're asking me for the type of riding and the type of location you were in, you had a phenomenal motorcycle. So it's really interesting that I
felt like I never used it the way it was intended.
Well,
I'm going
that's relative,
to work and
I'm
just
Well, so to me though, looking back on that, looking where I am now, like you see how much like in editing the videos, I think you can see how much I enjoy the MT-07 and the MT series, and or hell, the MT style motorcycles. Granted, a lot of that is like my back and stuff like that, so I can't really ride a super sport like
cruisers.
I want to, huh?
That's the other reason I love cruisers. Dude.
Yeah. So it's interesting that if I were to go back in time and pick a bike for you, like I would have probably picked something like that. If for that area, not knowing the type of like vibe you were looking for with bikes, but that's interesting.
It was a good experience that I know that. It was just like there was a lot. I mean, in that year, I put like 28,000 on that bike.
28,000
miles. I went all the way out to Tennessee and.
Okay. So you weren't just okay. That's not like in town 28,000 miles.
No. I mean, I'd say probably about half of that it was in town. But like, I did a lot.
That's a lot of miles.
I did a lot of riding on that bike.
Yeah.
And very seldomly was it the kind of riding that it felt natural at, which was slightly more technical, not super technical.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever ridden an FZ6R. I might have, like, really early on in my first ride stuff.
Fun bikes, they look cool.
Yeah, I don't remember what, like, because when you say, like, detuned R6, I'm like,
do a mullet check.
Oh, sorry, mullet check. We have mullet's still going strong, guys. Don't worry, it's still killing it. And I think the last episode, Heather said like she's super mullet game. So
team mullet.
It looks like I don't know. Can you see it in the camera? Can you
a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It might be hard to see. Mullet's still there. Don't worry, guys. We're still killing it.
So what about you? Like, if you had to like take the top one, right? Your biggest regret.
So the way I kind of looked at this when we were making our notes this week. Oh, Heather's in the chat.
Yeah.
Heather had a client call at 5, so she was worried she wasn't going to make it in, but it looks like she's in there. Yay, hey babe. So the way I kind of look at this, the way I have to look at this, story arc that is my motorcycle career, I kind of look at it from beginning to end. So my first regret, thinking chronologically, I started on an SV650.
I regret that too.
Which honestly, I see those every now and then, and I'm like, dude, that's not a bad bike.
Not.
I would legitimately be okay with buying an SV6. I'd be okay with buying an SV1000 because I'm capable now. But I started on a yellow SV650S. It was the S or.
Yes.
I think it was the S, because the S was like the haft fairing. So the engine was exposed, but it had this like fairing up front. It was yellow. I had a yellow Mustang at the time. I was a douche, clearly, because I was like, I'm going to have yellow everything. I love the shit out of that bike. But when I look back on it, and this is something I harp on a lot in the videos, if I'm doing a first ride on something like an R3 or something like that, I tell people a lot, especially now, that the starter bikes, R3, Ninja 400, like those two alone, I think anybody can jump on those and have a good time. Back in the day, we didn't have those, but we did have a Ninja 250. I think that I got into a lot of issues with my motorcycle because I told you guys when I started riding, I had no idea how to ride. I didn't know how to shift. I didn't know what a clutch was. I knew that it was some weird thing.
Because you learned
on camera. That's so for you guys that don't know, the beginning of my channel, the Chase on 2, or what was Chase in 3D channel, which is the channel I had before Chase on 2 Wheels. That's another long story. I started the channel because I wanted to. I knew that I'd always wanted to ride, and I finally was in an opportunity in my life that I could actually take it on now. So I was like, what would be funny? If in a few years I look back at all these videos of me learning how to ride once I know how to ride, I thought it would be hilarious to be like, wow, bro, you suck. So that was the whole point. And there's probably honestly like 10 people doing motovlogging at that time. So I was like, hey, these guys ride around and listen or talk to themselves. So I'll do that, but I'll, from the get-go learn. So we can go all the way back to Chase in 3D and like watch me learn how to ride a motorcycle. And, I honestly think had I started on a Ninja 250, I probably would have had far less wrecks and problems had I started on that motorcycle, because it would have physically halted me from doing really stupid stuff. You can still do stupid stuff on a Ninja 250, do not get me wrong, but you've got a speed limit cap.
Somebody just called you out, by the way. Chase the 3D.
Chasing it is what it is, man. It was back in the day. I went to school for 3D design, so that's why I thought I was fancy. So I think if I would have started on something more approachable and something more limiting, intentionally limiting, I honestly think I would have gotten less wrecks, and I honestly think if I would have done that at this point in time, I would be a better rider, honestly. Because I would have been forced to, if I wanted to go faster, I would have had to learn to go faster. It's not as easy as pulling the throttle in or getting another gear and shifting up and going faster. Because, like, bro, I had a one day up in the mountains. I started... I'll get into the mountains thing. That's kind of another thing. I wish I'd have started on a 250 instead of a 650.
The interesting thing to think about with that is that, like, if you had started on a more beginner-focused machine, then it would have been a longer transition into upgrading. And by that time, you will have spent enough time on the bike to find out what kind of rider you are. You probably would have steered clear of, like, straight race super sports,
right?
You know what I mean?
Well, so
you would have probably leaned more into, like, okay, I know what this feels like,
yeah,
and I like the kind of sporty feel,
yeah. I mean, who's to know? Because if I
your back may actually not be fucked up right now.
That's
because
true.
Of it.
Damn
you know
it. I mean? And to be clear, I did try to buy a Ninja 250, but because I'm almost embarrassed to say, but at the time, I can still remember it, honestly. At the time, there was a black and dark maroon Ninja 250 with tribal graphics. That, I know, trust me. That, at the time, was my dream motorcycle. That is the one I wanted to start on. I could not find one available when I, was financially able to grab one. The SV650 was the only bike that I was like, well, it's a little more power. It's a lot more power. But I can afford it, and it's for sale, used at X dealership. Let's do this thing.
That's
so
interesting to think about, because I didn't even remember. I wasn't thinking of that right now until you said that, because like the Bolt, it was like when I found out what kind of rider I wanted to be. I wanted a more standard kind of approach. The only reason that I landed on the Bolt is because the Iron 883 was anemic comparatively.
Okay.
And Harley, at that point, I was financing the bike,
right,
regardless of what I did. And Harley's payment was too high, so I couldn't get the bike that I was looking at getting.
I want this one, but I can't afford it. Damn it.
Yeah, and so the Bolt was the next step, and that thing was like a 1600 cc.
Yeah,
like it would have been a large jump in torque than what I was used to.
But and a totally different body position too. Yeah. So you'd have been like in a really weird spot. Yep. So yeah, I'll go into my mountain stuff at a later one. So what's your bike getting nicked and learning what type of riding you like doing the most early on? Earlier was your other two. So what's your next regret that you have looking back?
I mean, there are plenty of opportunities that I had that presented themselves that I didn't take.
For instance, what?
Like going on trips and long rides and stuff like that.
Motorcycle-related trips?
Yeah. And, nah, I wish I had taken more advantage of that, because, like, I was at a point in my life where, like, my career was starting to take kind of most of the focus off.
Right.
So there's a large period. I'd been working IT for, like, 15 years before here, and it was mostly just kind of day-to-day, like regular-ass job. It wasn't until about that same time that the trajectory started going up. Right. And I started moving my way very quickly.
Right.
So it was like one of those things where, like, I couldn't divert my focus between the two. I had to focus on one or the other. At that time, I had started making videos. Like, on my channel, there's, like, I don't know, 20 to 30 videos that I just have on private right now because I'm just like, whatever. I can watch them if I want. But it's like I had started doing that. I started writing more, and I started like going on longer trips. And then so I stopped doing that to focus on my career.
Right.
And then, we did the web series for a while, and so I started focusing on it because that was something I could do that didn't require the resources and time that going on a long trip would. So I was like, yeah, I can manage that. So me and my buddies did the D&D web series for like forever.
Right.
And it just kind of, I'd go on the weekend, or, if I had some vacation, I might take like a 3-day and go and travel.
Right.
But then the bike became my tool for getting to those places instead of like
the actual experience.
Yeah. Right. And I think that's a big regret because I like that job sucked the life out of me. And
the IT job?
Yeah. Now looking back on it, I'm just like, what a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of people who will say you don't live your life with regrets. And I want to clarify. I agree to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. You're human beings. You're going to regret stuff. Like that's you can't not live your life without regrets. You always look back at something and I wish I had done that. Where it becomes problematic for me, at least personally, is if you live by your regrets. If that's what's forcing everything you do, is that you just are trying to avoid having regrets.
Yeah, you're living in the past.
Or you're like obsessing over, like I can look at mine, and I compartmentalize fairly well. I'm just like, I can look at the mistakes I made or the things I wish I had done differently and go, okay, I got that cataloged. Now I know that if I'm presented with something like that again, then I can make a different decision and it can turn out okay. The IT job, I'm just like, that sucked all of that potential time I had to have life experiences, which I now know to be vastly more important than a 9-to-5 working for somebody else. Right. Making them billions of dollars. Like, you know what I mean?
That's an interesting conversation that we could maybe get into at another time. But I think a lot of people have that where they do start writing when their career is very early and they necessarily don't have a lot of money to ride. And then as their career trajectory starts taking a up climb, you suddenly see the career do better and the motorcycling be less. And I think a lot of people drop out of motorcycling because of that. But yeah, we can talk about that another time.
It became a tool in my everyday living instead of something that I am using to experience life. Yeah, I'm using it so that life can like kind of take over my shit.
Do you think that correlated with like you were on a motorcycle that wasn't your one? Do you think had you got on the Bolt earlier and you realized what riding like, because when everybody finds that riding that clicks with them, it like that's when riding really becomes a thing. I think. Do you think if you'd have gotten on the Bolt earlier, would you have been more apt to do those trips and take advantage of those opportunities when they presented themselves during your IT job?
I honestly think if I had, of course, hindsight being 20/20, if I knew then what I know now, I would say that one, I would have not given up on my own personal channel like I did.
Links in the description down below.
Oh, Lord. Good luck on that one, guys. I would have probably... that would probably be that moment where I go, okay, this can be... Because it was about that time I started seeing like the curtain being pulled back on corporate life.
Oh, okay.
Because my whole life I was told, your dreams are dumb, get a real job.
Yeah.
And so, like, the hobbies became a thing that I would fit into everything else. Around that time, when I was, like, riding, I had the Bolt. I was riding a lot. Right. I was meeting a lot of new cool people. It was about that time when I started getting, like, the fog and the haze was starting to, spread and clear. And I was seeing that job for what it really was and what kind of person I was becoming because of it. Mm-hmm. And so I think at that point, that would have been that turning point where I'm like, no, just keep going on what you're doing. Fuck this place.
Yeah.
I honestly think that because of that and because of the trajectory that all my personal stuff was going, that the channel would probably be a sustainable option at this point for me. If I had... Because
that was early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would have been able to get in that like early float period.
Yeah. It would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. I do want to clarify because I very much agree with what you're saying, and I say this, I religiously think this. I am very happy with where I am. So everything I'm saying today is it would have been interesting if
it was a reflection.
I would not change a single thing about my entire life because like
100%.
the stuff we get to do every single day right now, you know, the wife I have, the life I have, like, bro,
if anybody that knows my personal story knows what kind of absolute monstrous shit show pretty much my entire life from the age of 9 has been.
Yeah.
But 0 parts of it would I change. The things that I regret and the things I wish had not happened, like, doesn't change. Like that trajectory should have happened because that's why I am who I am as a person, because of all that stuff. So when I look back on it, I was like, oh, I wish I had ridden dirt. That just means I'd be really awesome at riding dirt right now. Like, that's all that means. It doesn't change me as a person, but like I definitely look back on it and I go, man, wouldn't it be awesome if I could just like...
Or just like, I would like to see the episode of my life if this happened.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, we've only got 19 minutes left.
What?
I know. I just saw somebody say 20 minutes.
Good
so
Lord.
Okay, so I'm... Wow.
Let's do the community thing.
No. We gotta get through a couple more. All right, last 10 minutes we will do nothing but, so we can't elaborate as much. So thank you, Trevor. I saw 20 minutes in the I saw it in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, 20 minutes. What's that?
We need to add another 30 minutes to the show.
We need to work on that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to hit of mine that I think is really important for people to hear from the get go. Like literally from the step go, I took that little SV650, I took that bitch to the mountains, and I started riding with people who I had no business riding with. It would have been fine if I rode with them, and I was of the mindset of like, it's okay, they'll go faster than you, they'll catch up. These were super nice people. These were much older guys that were like, hey man, don't worry about keeping up. We're going to be at the top of the mountain. Bro, 30 days into riding, literally like 30 days ago, I didn't know how to use a clutch. In 30 days, I was in the mountains that I still ride in today. Riding with like dudes that had been riding for longer than I was alive.
Yeah, that's a common one on a lot of people.
So I used to ride with a guy who this is probably what messed my head up. He had a yellow SV650. He had the one with fairings. I had the yellow SV650 without fairings. So I thought to myself, kids, please do not think this. It is totally wrong.
Don't do this.
I saw this guy who is an incredible rider. If he can do it, surely I can do it.
Bad idea.
Because my thought process was, well, his bike can do it, so my bike should be able to physically do it. So as long as I stay right behind him, I'm fine. I had one day, went to the mountains with this guy and a few other dudes. I wrecked 3 times in one day.
Yes. Oh my God. I had forgotten about that. Oh.
The last time I wrecked.
Oh my God.
Thank God we were at the top of the mountain because I had to roll the bike down to get to an advanced auto parts so that I could buy duct tape and zip ties and get my motorcycle put together enough for the limp home to Atlanta.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I would say to myself is, look, if you want to go to the mountains 30 days after you start riding, that's fine. Do it to it. But for the love of God, the second that you go outside of your comfort zone, because otherwise you're not going to grow. Yeah. But dude, if you're outside of your comfort zone, you have to realize you are the most vulnerable right now. If you go out of it a little bit.
You can go outside of your... this is something important for people that are either new to riding or learning to ride. You can go outside of your comfort zone, but you should be very aware of your limitations, because your limitations and your comfort zone are not mutually exclusive.
So that's a good point.
So you know what I mean? Like, because you can ride outside of where you're comfortable, but not where you're out of control.
Well, so to a point that I was saying... I saw somebody and saw what the bike can do. And yes, the person that I can't remember, I can barely see the chat. Somebody said your bike could do it at that time. You're right. My bike could do it. The speed at which you can ride a motorcycle has so little to do with the motorcycle. Yeah. It has so much to do
See
with you
all
as the rider.
the dual sport guys up in the mountains.
Yeah,
You
so
know
like
what I mean?
just please keep in mind, guys,
Yeah.
if you're new to riding or maybe you're just getting into technical riding with people, it does not matter jack shit what the people you're seeing are riding.
It is very
matters
important.
what they have up here,
Yeah.
what the ability they have in their hand, and how they move their body on the bike. That has everything to do with it. So just if you're gonna go outside of your comfort zone, go a little bit. Do not try
your limitations.
Learn your limitations. If you want to push them, fine, but be prepared to wreck 3 times in a day on the mountains
I
and limp
forget
yourself
that
home.
shit. I
Have
forget
fun
that
with that.
shit
All right.
so
We got 5 minutes. Next
No,
regret
we
you
got
have.
15 minutes.
5 minutes before
Oh,
we have to
5
go
minutes?
for our stuff.
I mean, honestly, those are the big ones, right? Giving up dirt. Like I want to go take the dirt course.
Yeah.
Like that's legitimately a thing. We've talked about it internally, like how fun it would be, and make a great video.
Right.
But
Well,
it's
so
like
I have a regret too that kind of goes with that because
Yeah.
I would love to do a dirt course too because I
which
feel
is
like
so
a lot would
fucking
translate.
weird because you've spent so much time on a WR and you putt around on like loose gravel, like
Yeah.
and like packed dirt, and I'm
Because
like,
just because I don't understand
and
it,
it's
it's
like
so different.
When I see it, I'm just like, that makes no fucking sense to me.
Well, so here's another thing that kind of goes
Dual
with
sport
that.
doesn't dual.
Does it? I only single.
Only sports.
I single sport.
He's sports.
Another thing I wrote down is I've been riding for over 10 years, and all I have taken is the MSF course. I have never taken an advanced rider course. I have wanted to do technical riding from the get-go, yet I have done
I'm afraid
no
to.
advanced rider course.
I'm afraid to.
Really?
Did you see Doodle? She went back and took the advanced rider course after having passed it and all this stuff.
No, I haven't
and
seen
it was
that.
just like you get so used to doing things your way
Oh, Jesus.
that like when
Dude, I'd fail.
I know, like I would legitimately fail so many parts because like a lot of the stuff I do is pure convenience, like floating my brake.
I bet we're. I bet if a MSF person
U-turns?
watched us, bro, we'd be so terrible.
U-turns, like I can do an okay U-turn. I can't do that little box. I guarantee you. And then to do it on your own bike, like my bike,
Yeah.
there's no fucking way.
So here's something I've noticed. On the MT-07, I think if I was to go do a MSF course, what?
I want you to read Jake's comment. Oof.
GG, Jake. GG. So if I was to go do the MSF course,
I'm sure I'd fail.
bro, I feel like I could probably pass it on the MT-07, but sadly, I think if I did it on the MT-10, I would drop that bitch 100%.
Yeah.
I feel
You
like the
do okay
MT-07,
on the WR, but like the
WR or the MT-07, bro, I'd kill it. But
Yeah.
if I was on anything more,
when we were over at the church parking lot, I was really surprised at how I could manhandle the MT-07.
it's such a good bike.
Like that, it's like basically a two lane. You've got the 2 lanes in between the parking spot, and I was
Yeah.
just like, let's see what I can do. So I channeled my inner Dan, and I go, boop, and I was like super tight 1.5 of the lanes, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, the it's a cheap bike for real, honestly.
Yeah.
That's why I personally think it's the best motorcycle of 2021. Okay, so what else do I have on here? Oh, I'm just gonna pretend the door didn't make a weird noise.
Yeah, well, here's the fucked up part, bud. What did you say before we started streaming?
I said I don't want us to get robbed while we're streaming, and I locked the front door. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and guys, we had a slight issue the other day with people trying to come into the shop, so we're a little sketched out. And Bo just shut the door, so I'm worried. Here's another thing. I wish I did more track days. Dude, I'm so sketched right now. You guys know I like technical riding, and something that he's talking with somebody. Oh fuck. Dude, did somebody just try to come into the shop? Okay, he's talking with somebody. I'm gonna continue on. Oh, somebody's waving hands and shit. Oh shit, guys. I don't know what's happening right now. Oh, somebody's like pointing at him. I might have to go out there. Well, no, Bo doesn't seem mad. Maybe he's asking for directions. Let's hope to God. Yeah, hold on. Guys, I know we're running out of time. This is not a good time for this, but hold it. Let me just be ready in case something happens. This is a motorcycle podcast, and I'm so sorry this is happening. Oh shit. Okay. I think everything's okay. He's locking the door. Everything's fine. Everything okay?
Like, bro, I felt like he was trying to beat the door down.
Okay, I tried to tell people that I wanted to do more track days and I failed because what happened? What was that?
Here. Some fucking asshole trying to sell some shit, but they fucking beating down the door like he was gonna try to break it.
So a guy trying to sell a securities thing tried to break our door down.
Yes.
The irony is so hard.
I told him to just talk to the owner, dude. What do I look like?
Bro, so I'm over here like all I could see, it was a hand. Look, the only thing I could see over your head was a guy's hand do like this and point down, and I'm like, we've been in here the whole time. Nothing could have happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything's good. Okay. Whew. Anyway, I wish I did more track days. That's kind of one of the last things I didn't really say. Also, I don't know how much the R6, riding an R6 for 5 years hurt my back, but I have a hard time riding super sports for long periods of time.
Until that FZ was painful too.
Okay, so now that we have 9 minutes left, how about this? I'll read over some of the there is a no soliciting sticker. There is, Jake. It says by appointment only.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to read through, if you go to my screen for the Milo thing, I'll read over some of this stuff.
Can I just say my favorite one?
Favorite one
that I saw of the community regard?
Yeah. Go to my screen. We can show it. Do you know the name?
I'm going to have you just guess which one I want to read. Just scroll through it. Yeah. A tank replied to your message.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm assuming it's the tank. Yeah. Okay, so guys, I'm going to read through a couple of these, including the tank one. And you go on Discord, find a regret, and then we'll do that. Okay, so my first bike, a chopped, customized 80s Suzuki Savage with a single-cylinder 650. Jesus. Needed work when I bought it. I spent months getting it road ready, which I had no experience doing. I'd fix one problem. Within a day or two, something else would go wrong. I finally gave up and brought it to the shop. By the end of it all, I got maybe 2 months of riding under my belt before something went haywire with the electronics and things got fried. I parked it in my garage and haven't looked at it in months because I bought a new bike out of frustration. Moral of the story is, don't buy someone else's project bike as your first bike. Enormous little things. It sounds like you took on enormous little things. Wow. Okay. So don't buy somebody else's project bike as a first bike. Yeah. I say this, I think, in the R6 or R7 as a first bike video. Buy a bike that's in full running order. Don't buy a project bike as your first bike.
I mean, unless you are that kind of person.
Unless you're Brian.
You're not going. You're gonna be finding other people's fuck ups forever.
All right, next one. Martin
Johannesson.
Oh, that's a cool last name. I was too eager to get going when I got my motorcycle license. Huh?
Johansson?
I like Johansson.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a Viking. I was too eager to get going when I got my motorcycle license that I purchased a motorcycle solely based on looks. In retrospect, I should have taken the time to test ride multiple motorcycles to find out which one suits my style and my type of riding better, and then make my purchasing decision. Kind of similar to you.
Same shirt, bud. Same shirt.
Yeah, Johannesson. Johannesson. Okay, next up, MTO9 Madness. My regret would be that I didn't start sooner. I was 26 when I got my first bike. Wish I was one of those kids born to, yeah, right? Those kids that are born, like the parents put them on 50s
just
instantly.
Live and breathe dirt bikes.
Oh my
and race
gosh.
bikes.
That would be cool. So yeah, he wanted to start earlier. The Tank says riding regret riding through Desert Storm on tracks with 4 people instead of me. Okay, glad that the Tank responded.
I wish I could give that person the win.
Right. So Chase, it's kind of too blurry to read. Getting too comfortable wrecked my favorite bike because of it. Yeah. Getting too comfortable. I think that kind of goes with what me and you were saying, where you get a bike, it fits you really well, and you start getting really comfortable with it, and you just kind of, details go out the window. Next thing you know, you find yourself in a bad spot.
Yep.
I think this person's name is Trey. I kind of regret buying my first/current bike. Oh, wow. So he's relatively new at riding, it sounds. It definitely wasn't the ideal first bike CC-wise. Looking back, I should have gotten a smaller because after 3 years with my bike, I find myself riding my girlfriend's bike more. Some days I love winding out that little 250 way more than my own bike, not to mention it's so much easier moving it around the garage. There you go.
So
similar to what I said.
This is what I said. I've said millions of times. It is so much more fun to wring the shit out of a small little bike.
What's the statement? It's fast. It's funner to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow.
Yeah, you almost said that.
Yeah, that's
that's
pretty damn good for me.
That's
almost
the
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, please do not discount low CC bikes. They are so good right now.
I love that 125.
Josh says, starting out on a 250, I was made fun of by everyone. I don't necessarily regret it because I do believe it made me the rider I am today. I've never told anyone about it, but being made fun of was really discouraging.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. I just wanted to be on a bike and feel the wind in my face. This has been 13 years, and I still think about it often.
So this is something I want to. I picked this one specifically. Stop fucking bullying people because of the bike they ride. Let people enjoy what they want.
Bro,
also, you don't get to tell. Like, he might be having the fucking time of his life. Who are you to tell them that it's bullshit that he's on a 250? He could be on a 150.
I could honestly do an entire show on the
I hate
anger,
that so much because you're pushing those people
anger.
away.
Yeah, these are somebody like.
Well, there was a couple of stories I saw where it's like, yeah, I stopped riding because of that. Because
people are making fun of them.
Yeah, okay, I shit on the Iron 883, but if a dude shows up on an Iron 883,
you're not gonna shit on the guy,
right? I'm gonna be like, yo, your bike's shitty, whatever, dude. But come on, let's fucking ride.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'm gonna smoke you, but we can ride.
I feel like I'm gonna grab the last one. I feel like, and these aren't the only ones, guys. We just picked out a couple of them that we thought would work well. I feel like a lot of people's regrets, whether they say so or not, is that they chose the cool factor over having fun. I've seen so many people now bullied and made fun of because of they had a smaller bike and because of the power. Naturally, that's where people started, and rightfully so. And I feel that it alters your mindset where you aren't too cool, quotes, cool. So you have to get a bigger bike and focus on social status and forget what riding's all about, which is having fun. At the end of the day, if you're not having fun, is it even worth it? Yeah, the similar sentiment, man. Like these, I don't have time to get into it.
Yeah.
Small bikes, especially right now, are so good.
Dude, the R3 is like one. So there's so many bikes right now that if they existed when I first started riding street, like that's clearly what I've
Have I not said this?
Yeah.
If the R3 was available when I started riding,
that's who'd be on.
It wouldn't even be a thought. The price, the reliability,
the looks,
and the look. Just take my money.
Yeah,
I'll be fine.
That's a hat trick, man.
Oh my god, I see, but still, I see a lot of comments. About people like, oh, I outgrew the R3. It's like, if you outgrew an R3, you better be a hell of a rider.
People say it about my Bolt all the time. But, like, stoplight to stoplight, I'm having just as much fun as you.
Also, what does it fucking matter?
Right? Like, that's the thing. Is like, I'm having fun doing the thing that I'm doing.
Bro, we need to do a whole
off
show.
My fucking nuts.
We need to do a whole show about bikes like
the
that.
works. You love the shit out of your 883. I love that you love it. I don't like the bike, but I love that you love it, and so ride the fuck out of it. And if you ever for some reason can ride together, dude, gonna be right there, right next to you.
This
shitty little.
This all comes down
bike.
to the most important quote that matters for everything with riding: ride your ride, enjoy your ride.
Yep.
Like, fuck the other guys. Fuck anybody else that like doesn't think you're on a faster bike. Like, nobody fucking matters but you. If you are having a good time, who the fuck cares?
Absolutely, dude.
You know, it's so frustrating.
You do you, boo.
And like you said, like, how many riders
Yeah.
end up leaving because like, oh, I maybe I can't fucking afford it.
We've seen
You know
it
what I'm
happen
saying?
with the ATL rider crew, like all that stuff, all
Yeah.
that drama that happened years ago. People stopped riding because of it.
I don't get it.
All right, so we got a
We have no time left, Bo.
I can choose one person.
You can?
Yeah, and
Okay.
they've gotten some upvotes in the form of chase faces.
Good man's.
Um,
Good man's. I said
yeah,
that.
all
Oh,
of
well.
you, all men's. It is. He said this was my regret, and it's just a picture of his fucked up 636. And Bud,
Hold on, go off my screen real quick, and I'll open in Discord.
I see. We all know those feels too well.
He posted a photo with it too.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. I'll share the photo. We'll
Yeah.
live his regret together real quick, guys. 1 second.
Because I've had a couple of offs. The worst of which was the 75, where the person pulled out in the HOV lane on me. And then another one where a guy pulled out of a neighborhood, and my thankfully I moved my foot out of the way. My foot peg dug into their bumper, and it kind of like twisted my shiz around. Up. Just keep going. It's the only one with react. There you go.
Yikes.
Yeah. Here. Well, I'll
We can go to my.
I'll share the screen.
So, guys, RIP in the chat for this awesome looking 636.
And we all know those feels.
We
here.
do know those feels, man. We are right here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who posted that?
That is Freddie Rods.
Freddie Rod. Bo will get in contact with you, and you'll get you a $50 Revzilla giveaway.
Not a 5.
About to be. No, I was about to go 500. So I'm glad. I stopped myself. Yeah. So Freddie, we totally get you, man. You are not the only one. Everybody. It's kind of an unfortunate situation, but it's not about when you'll go down, or it's not about if you'll go down. It's about when. We all go down at some point in time, whether it's some stupid parking lot stuff, or if you're riding too far out your comfort zone, you hit some gravel, and then your motorcycle's head gets ripped off.
Is it sitting back there? Yeah, you guys can see it in the camera right there. That's Holly. What's left with her?
That's one of my R6's heads right there.
Oh.
So guys, that was a cool show. That felt good. I like these kind of like conversationally things.
Yeah.
I will say I like the mix. You guys in the chat, let us know. Do y'all like these kind of conversationally podcasts, or do you like them as
Newsy?
Because I like covering the gamut, because it kind of makes it interesting for us. But guys, that's going to be the end of Live on Two Wheels this week. Next week we're going to be back here Thursday. We're here every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard
Unless
Time.
it's a Friday.
Unless Chase is in LA riding Harleys. That's not going to happen very often, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still watching, guys, please make sure to hit the like button. You never know. Hit the like button if you want to see Chase on Harleys, and even if you don't. But guys, thanks for hanging out with us live here. If you're just listening to us, thanks for listening to us over on the podcast side. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can like it as well. We appreciate all of them. Also, you guys are freaking champs. Granted, this live show, the numbers are lower than our like main videos, which is totally normal. But on the podcast side, we are seeing growth every single week.
There's also a lot of conversation happening on the YouTube side.
That is my literal, like, if the views were terrible, the amount of conversations we get to have with you guys makes doing this show totally worth it. And I mean, it's something me and Bo really looked forward to at the end of the week. So we hope you guys
it means we don't have to take time out of our day to like do other stuff, and we get to just like be dudes.
It's like, hey, for the last 2 hours on Thursdays, just go hang out with the people.
We used to do shit like this all the time, but then it's like now we have to like worry about
well, yeah, we have to business
we're
it.
at work.
Yeah, which is I mean, it's work, but it's we make YouTube videos on motorcycles. It could be worse.
We work harder than I've ever worked before.
Yeah, we do. That's 100% true.
We love every one of you guys.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thanks for propping the show up. We can't wait to keep making more, and we're on the way to number 2. One day we'll make it there.
We should have number 1 on here, and that may
help us be number 2. That would be. I'll have to get in contact.
You should make it a point to always bring that up at every chance you get during that podcast.
I should do the Revzilla affiliate link plug, and part of that plug is that's the home of the #1 podcast. So you guys go watch the #1 podcast and let them know #2's looking at them. And we'll just send all of our people to be like, hey, you guys should be on live on Two Wheels. we would need to figure out how to get Spurge and Zach so we can have a 4-block. And I'm gonna look at you.
We're just gonna invite them out here so we can go riding down the mountains.
Oh, in person.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, you're talking next level some stuff.
Okay, that's how else you get to #2.
That's true.
I'll step up the game.
I don't know Zach, but I know Spurge. Yeah. I'll send him a message.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. That's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week. And until then, you guys, please, for the love of God, ride safe and ride your own damn ride.
Yes, sir.
That'd be funny if we ended it on that. Oh, wait. We already ended on something. You guys know what's up. There it is. All right, guys. That's Live on Two Wheels this week. We'll see you guys next week. Later.